Hello, welcome to week 11. Sorry, my OBS went a bit mad there. It was only meant to show the window that had the presentation, but anyway, there now. So what you saw there was, well, I should explain this round first. To those that haven't worked it out already, these are letters. You need to make the longest word you can. Just like Countdown, really. And Gary's going over that at the end, but shorter than last time. These are seals from the Cornish Seal Sanctuary. This week, rather than asking you to vote for a charity or whatever, we are going to be donating anything we get this week to the Cornish Seal Sanctuary. They rescue seals from shores and things when they get tangled in nets and things like that. So they rescue them, look after them, and then release them back into the sea when they're healthy enough. So obviously this costs quite a bit of money. So they're looking for a fair bit of money to keep them going, because at the moment nobody is allowed in. So normally you would pay like £10 to get in and go and see the seals, but obviously they can't do that because of the coronavirus, so they're struggling to feed the seals at the moment. So I thought that would be a really good charity to do. My target this week really is about £30 if you're able to do that. I will do a Facebook link for donating directly through Facebook, or you can just do it as normal through Pingit or Revolut if you know me. Moving on to... let's not do it so that you can see the answers. Hello. General knowledge. Question 1. Which Italian province speaks mostly German? Oh, and also the music that you heard at the start, I should say, is Peter Booker. He's a YouTuber who does piano covers of pop songs. So I should probably... there's a link in the description somewhere. I'll just put it in the chat as well, just in case anyone is interested, and just to cover all the copyrights. It should be showing the rolling scores, Gary. It is for me. Oh, the actual scores, right? Yes, I see. Oops. Question 2. How long is a mile in kilometres to 1 decimal place? Question 3. What nut is in the middle of a Ferrero Rocher? Also, that is the Pingit link if anybody had lost it. Question 4. In Harry Potter, what is the name of the Weasleys' house? Question 5. How many valves does the heart have? That's a human heart, of course. I don't know if other animals have different numbers of valves. Perhaps someone will have an interesting fact regarding hearts in other animals for us to learn. Question 6. What is the capital of Iceland? Stu, you can't just reuse jokes. Question 7. What is Queen Elizabeth II's surname? I didn't reuse a question, I just used the same question but for a different country, didn't I? Yeah, I'm sure it's a different country. I'm sure last time it was Sweden. Question 8. Which country is brie cheese originally from? I didn't do heart valves last week. I think I did. Question 9. Put these in Tom Hanks films in chronological order. Catch Me If You Can, Forrest Gump, and The Terminal, and Bridge of Spices. Spices? Spies, even. Last week, the only question that we had regarding hearts was how many hearts does an octopus have, not how many chambers are there in a heart. So I have not reused a question. Question 10. What year was Heinz established? Stu, we don't want to know what you're doing with yogurt. Question 11. Typically, what's the strongest muscle in the human body? I'm just going to ignore him. What year did Margaret Thatcher die? Question 13. What does LGBTQ stand for? Yes, almonds are filthy things. Yes. Hate marzipan. Question 14. What is a baby rabbit called? You put me off where you put little and almonds, but salted I like. And question 15. Name one landlocked country in Europe. Bonus 7 points available here. You are not allowed Google or Maps or anything like that. 7 bonus points if you can name every single landlocked country in Europe. If you get only a couple of them, you don't get any points. Well, you get the 1 point for getting at least one of them, but it's either 1 point or 7 bonus points, so 8 points in total. So, yeah. Do not use Google. I don't know. As far as I'm aware, they're all countries. If you send it to me on Messenger, Liam, I'll tell you whether it is whether it might include a principality or not. If you're sending me a principality, I'm not going to tell you if it is a country, whether that country is actually landlocked or not. I'll give you a bit of time on this one though. In fact, I will move on the screen on to all of those for you. Whilst you go over them, I'll give you a minute on this. So I believe that it does include principalities. And no, I haven't given Liam any answers. But yes, it includes principalities because technically they're still a country, apparently. By Europe, I mean Europe. I do not mean EU. I mean Europe. There is a big difference. For example, we are not leaving Europe. We are just leaving the EU. The EU is a union. Europe is a continent. We can't leave a continent. So I am talking about the continent Europe. Okay, so I'm going to move on now. We've got a DIY round this week, because I thought everybody's been busy doing stuff around the house, painting and whatnot. So I thought we'd have a DIY round. So question 1: what tool is this? I hope you all get this one. Do you want to know how many there are in total? There are 14 in total. Question 2: what is this tool called? Might knock a few back, but generally. I don't know your boyfriend, so I can't answer. I can't agree or disagree with you on that one. But if you say he is, then oh dear. Okay, maybe. Question 3: is oak a hardwood or a softwood? Maybe this was a bad idea for a round. Question 4: what base is standard emulsion wall paint? Yeah, what base is used in standard emulsion wall paint? Usually. Question 5: what is the most expensive wood in the world? So if you wanted a wardrobe made out of A very expensive wood. Which wood would it be? Isn't he a footballer? No, he looks a bit old. He's 35. Bloody hell, he's ancient. Question 6. What colour is the live wire inside a plug? This will test your age. 2 cans down. Third one open. I mean, when you've had one, you might as well have them all. Question 7. What holds the water for a toilet to flush? So if you have a problem with your toilet flushing, what do you open to fix the problem? What am I drinking, Gary? I'm drinking good old Coca-Cola. Question 8. Before drilling into the wall, what should you do first? In terms of health and safety. Because there's probably a lot of stuff you should do first, but in terms of health and safety, what should you do? No, well, I would have had rum and coke, but of course I'm out of rum. Or am I? No, I think I've got some rum in... No, I think my parents have got some dark rum I could have stolen, but oh well. A deep breath? I didn't realise it was that terrifying, drilling into a wall. There are very clever devices for doing this now. Anyway, question 9. In Faulty Towers, Basil hired a cheap builder to fit a new door in a supporting wall. What didn't he use that he should have to support it? So this will test your knowledge of supporting walls and doorways, or your knowledge of Faulty Towers. And what I'm looking for is 3 letters. And it's an abbreviation. So if you want to give me the full term, that's fine. Question 10. What is a good way to fix a squeaky door? Something even the most inept DIYers can do, or should be able to. How does Gary add all the scores so quickly? I have no idea. I think it's his job, like generally to. I mean, his job is basically like stage management support. I don't really know, but basically, I think it's his job to do all the behind the scenes stuff. So I suppose he's used to the stress. Shut it. But then it'll squeak as you shut it. Question 11. What type of cable would you need to extend your aerial for your TV? It's also the same cable that you would use for a Virgin Media box. And I believe it's also the same for a Sky satellite dish and that kind of thing. No, you know what I mean, a stage technical person thing. On board a Disney cruise ship, you lucky shit. Question 12. According to painters, what should you paint first in a room? Should you paint the ceiling, the wall, the skirting, the floor? What should you paint first? I've just remembered I put a load of Coca-Cola mixers in the fridge. I should have had them with me rum. That would have been nice. If anybody's not had them, Coca-Cola do little glass bottles of Coca-Cola infused with herbs, spices. One of them is a woody sort of texture. One of them is a smoky flavour. They're really, really nice. Worth trying. It's usually in the alcohol section, not the soft drink section. They don't have alcohol in, but they're for mixing with alcohol. Question 13. What abrasive is usually used in modern sandpaper? So not the paper, not the glue, but the other thing in sandpaper. What is usually used? Who is the team BLT? Or BTL even? I don't know what BTL is. I keep seeing BLT and thinking bacon, lettuce, tomato. I think that's the sandwich, isn't it? Question 14. What is the technical term for a crosshead screw or screwdriver? Well, that's a bit rude. I mean, everything's relative. Question 15. What is the most durable carpet made from? And I will put up the list of questions. Oh, okay. So I'd put the wrong. Okay, I forgot to update the list of questions, didn't I? Oops. 5-minute break for me to cover up. So do feel free to let me know what you've been up to this week. I have recently, yesterday, downloaded Anno 1800 from the Epic Store for £15. What a bargain. And I am addicted. I've probably played at least 10 hours so far. And I only downloaded it yesterday evening, so yeah. If you like it, city builders and things with trade, where you also have pirates that you've got to defend against, all that kind of thing. It's amazing, great game. Still learning it though. It's there's a lot to learn in it. Gary's being busy delivering all of your parcels, so remember to clap for him. Oh yes, I will display the points so far. So these are the points so far. We have leading BTL, which so far are the only people that have managed to name all of the landlocked continents. So either they are really clever or they know a website called Google. Oh no, Iris Wristwatch have just overtaken them. Well done, Iris Wristwatch. The points are coming in from Gary. Also, how can the pre-quiz round be worth 83 points, Gary? How? Because one poor sod's only got 13. That seems a little unbalanced. Please explain to me, or I might have to disqualify you from countdown rounds. I mean, there can't be that big a difference. The rounds should be weighted to no more than about 15 per points per round, except bonus points. Well, yeah, but it's not in balance with the rest of the quiz. So I feel like Sunflower 2, I'm going to give you permission to resubmit your answers because you obviously didn't understand it if you only got 13. Gary should have explained it better. Have we? That's the point. So, moving on, we've got pets next. Don't we all love pets? So, what is a term for a group of cats? Or what is the term, even? Question 2. What is the name of Bill Sikes' dog in Oliver Twist? Yes, please do quarter the points for the pre-quiz round, because they're a little unbalanced, I feel. I mean, I like that it's, in line with Countdown, but I feel like it's unbalanced with the rest of the quiz rounds. Question 3. What is a female donkey called? Question 4. A Finnish Spitz is what type of animal? And yes, I'm aware that Spitz should have been capital. But I don't care. Question 5. Which of the following is not a breed of goldfish? Shubumkin, comet, samoyed, or veiltail? Veiltail, even. Do you know your goldfish? Liam should get this one. He's obsessed with fish. Question 6. The German dog Dachshund translates to what in English? I think you're going to like the music round this week. Well, I hope you will anyway. Question 7. What animal starred in the horror film Ben? Not something I've seen. Not something I want to see. Question 8. Which group of British campaigners were affected by the Cat and Mouse Act? Cat and Mouse Act is actually a nickname, but that's why it's sort of related to pets, because it's called cat and mouse. Some people do keep mice, some people do keep rats, some people keep snakes. It's very strange. I want a reptilian spidery crab or something like that. Something that's got like water and land. I feel like that would be quite cool. I wouldn't want to touch it though, I'd let Liam touch it. He can do all the amphibious stuff. I've got dwarf hamsters. I'm happy with dwarf hamsters because they're cute and they're nice and they're friendly. I feel bad for my fish because there's one neon tetra which seems to be on its own. Don't know what I did to it, but oh well. Question 9. How many teeth do adult dogs have? Please don't hurt your dogs whilst you're checking. Maybe just play tug of war with them or something. If you stick your finger in, it might not stay on. Well, he's looking after my dwarf hamsters at the moment because my parents don't like them. So, anyway, when we move to Newcastle in, I believe, 17 days? Is it 17 or is it 16? Let me just check. I definitely don't have an app for this at all. 17. Then I will get them back. And I can let them run around wherever they want. As long as it's safe, obviously. But, you know. Oh, no, 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 no. TV antenna isn't... Ugh. Gary, you're too... They are small and fluffy, aren't they lovely? Dwarf hamsters. Question 10. A cat has how many whiskers on average? 8, 52, 83 or 24? And yes, I should have put them in order of number, but you know. They keep all of you warm. You have to run around after them, making sure that they don't go running around. I mean, we let them out on Liam's bed once, and they were running all over the place. It was a full-time job. One person watching one hamster. Yeah, exactly. TV antenna isn't right. Yeah, TV antenna cable. Yeah, that's sorry, that's not an answer. That's like calling it an internet cable. It's not an internet cable. It's an Ethernet cable, which may or may not be Cat 5, 5E, 6, etc. Question 11. Humans have 5 million olfactory receptors, that's the sense of smell, in noses. So how many do dogs have? 1.2 million, 12 million, 120 million, or 220 million? Well, there is better than Cat 6 now, Gary, you know. I mean, you've got Cat 6E and you've got Cat 7. I don't know if there's any more. Probably is. But, yeah, Cat 7 isn't exactly cheap. Cat 8 exists and will apparently go up to 40 gigabits per second. Question 12. The fastest horse on record was clocked running at what speed? Cat 4 is very old and it was used for telephone cables, actually. And it apparently went up to transmit voice and data up to 16 megabits per second. So still faster than Sky Broadband. Question 13. What percentage of body weight can a hamster store in its cheek pouches? And how cute they are when they do it. Very fancy. Pouches. Didn't I put pouches? Okay, I put putches. What do they store in their putches? So, Stu, how is your yogurt getting on? Did you make the yogurt yourself? Have you made yogurt yourself? Question 14. What is the most popular pet in the UK? This is based on an average of 8,000 respondents, by the way, in face-to-face interviews. If you're interested. Question 15. What was the name of the first ever Blue Peter pet? And yet again, I've forgotten to update those lists of answers, so we might as well move straight on to food. Question 1. What is the spiciest chili in the world? Oops. Well, I didn't do it, and I think it was 2019, so it was before coronavirus. Even though the 19 from COVID is from 2019, it was December, whereas this was done in September. Oh, it was released in September. It was actually surveyed between 2018 and 2019. Question 2. What sauce is traditionally served in a prawn cocktail? Or with the prawn cocktail, I would have thought. Or maybe it is in. I don't know. I don't have prawns. Well, I have cocktails, but not prawns. Question 3. Which pastry is used to make baklava? Seem to be getting through quite quickly this week. That's kind of good. I want to get back on Anno. Not that I'm addicted or anything, but Anno is amazing. It's been around for decades. I've never played an Anno, and I just thought, well, I might as well give it a go for 15 quid for the latest one. It's incredible. I don't get why I waited so long. Question 4. What is a raisin? Don't just say it's a berry or it's a fruit or it's a vegetable or whatever you think it is. I mean, like, what is it made from? Because raisins don't grow on trees, unlike money. Question 5. What alcohol do you traditionally use to flame a Christmas pudding? I've never had a flamed Christmas pudding. Although, given what goes in a Christmas pudding, I don't think I'm that bothered about having one, so. A flamed sherry trifle, now that would be nice. Question 6. What type of beans are used to make baked beans in tomato sauce? As in the tins of baked beans you get made by Heinz, HP, Branston, Tesco, Sainsbury's, Co-op, Asda, Morrison's, you know, those beans. Whole Earth, Suma. Any other baked bean brands? Obviously very popular, aren't they? I mean, they all sold out in coronavirus, so... Question 7. What is a biscuit? I assume it's spelt like that. If it isn't, I apologise. Biscuit. I like that. If it's called biscuit, then great. Good name. If it's not, then it is now. Question 8. What is a beef Wellington? Bisque, well, it's just been renamed to biscuit. So I hope from now on, everybody, all 23 of you, call it a biscuit. You know what's better than a beef Wellington? A mushroom Wellington. Yum. With bangers. No, not bangers. With mash and gravy. Shame this up serving that. But... Question 9. What flavour is the icing on a Whitby bun? Brain boxes, Sunflower 2 and Darth Invaders. Are you still playing? Says Gary. I would assume not, given that they haven't answered anything. Apart from Sunflower 2, which has answered 1 for pre-quiz, and they've done so badly, I think they're probably best just leaving. So, yeah. Question 10. What type of pasta has a name meaning little worms? Or little worms if you're English. I am English, but, you know. I think I'm turning German thanks to Liam. Worms. I am reading from a script. I literally read your script. Worms. Well, actually, it is because Germans can't pronounce W's, unlike what you tried to pronounce last week, Gary. It's all documented. Question 11. What year did the first McDonald's store open? I wasn't sure whether to actually put this in the food round because I wasn't sure if McDonald's is really food. But I figured that most people consider it food, so I'd put it in anyway. In what country? In any country. I believe. Yes, the first one in any country. Question 12. From which type of flour does a vanilla pod come from? Which I've discovered goes really nicely in porridge. Just a little bit of vanilla essence, not pods. Haven't tried it with pods, but vanilla essence goes well in porridge. And then top it off with carob syrup. Carob syrup, even. And question 13. Which fast food franchise has the largest number of restaurants in the world? Right, that's 3 cans down. I'm going to have a crash later. Well, I don't think it really affects me that much. I don't think Coke has that much caffeine in, to be fair. Yeah, he was better before he got Amazonified. Question 14. Which strong-scented plant has its own festival held in the Which strong-scented plant has its own festival held on the Isle of Wight every year? Yes, I have been brushing my teeth. And wearing a tooth guard, a bite guard, because apparently I've been grinding them in my sleep, which apparently most of the population does without realising it, and is the cause to most toothache. Or so my dentist claims. Yeah. I'm going for the detox. Right, question 15. What type of food is a pumpernickel? I very much doubt Miss Ledger's watching, but she might know. If anybody's been watching her feed. I still call her Miss Ledger, Gary, after all these years. Sarah Ledger, great teacher from school. Totally loopy. But not as loopy as Miss Looty. Okay, so next we have the music round. Now, I know you've all missed after the second week when I did actual music for the music round. I thought, well, you know what? I'll just delete the music section of the video after I've uploaded it. So, I'm going to play 20 seconds of each song. I'm going to play them through twice, I think. There are 20 songs. So I will start in about 1 minute, just in case anybody needs to run off and finish anything first. So before I do, I will just show you the scores, as they are so far. Hi all, love Gary. Aww. You've not got very many points there, Gary. So currently, Irish wristwatch is... Why do you have to make a tongue twister? Irish wristwatch. IRW. Right, okay, Gary, we get the idea. 52.5 points. Closely followed by BTL with 51 points. Followed by Quizzing from Quarantine with 48.5 points. We break, please. Okay, I will leave it a little bit longer before we start with the music.
Sorry for the wait there. So this week we are doing countdown for the pre-quiz and a bit more countdown for round 6, I guess, and round 7 will also be a conundrum. So next we will be doing the numbers part of the countdown game. I've gotten all your submissions in for the words. Everyone has scored at least something for the words. No one made any false words. So well done there. And I have calculated all the scores accordingly, and everything has been quartered because Neil disagreed with our scores. But if you scored a 9-letter word in any of those, then you have scored 18 points for each word that was 9 letters long. All right, on with the show. All right, so on the main quiz form, you will see there is another section at the bottom called Countdown Numbers Round. So I'll just give you a few moments to make sure you've all gotten to the numbers round of the form, or if you're playing on pen and paper, just stand by with your pen and paper. Whilst you're doing that, I'll run through the answers of what we have gotten so far for the biggest possible words you could have got from all of the letter combinations we had. So question 1, the biggest word you could have had from this one was Hoft. Question 2, the biggest word you could have had was flakier. Question 3, the biggest word you could have had was purely. Question 4, the biggest word you could have had was hugest. Question 5, the biggest word you could have had was benefit. Question 6, the biggest word which you could have had was succeeds. And most of you got this one. Next, the biggest word you could have had was kingdoms. And this is where the 9-letter word was. If anyone got this one, it was, of course, pretended. If you'd have got pretended there, that would have scored you 18 points. If you'd have got this one, tortoise. And finally, measures. Okie dokie. Are we all ready with the numbers round form? Someone say yes, please, into the group chat so I know we're all ready. With you, Neil. Right, as per traditional countdown, you will have 30 seconds for each of these rounds. All right, your low numbers are 2, 5, 1, 4, and your big numbers 25, 50, and the target number is 275.
It's now about time to say that I've forgotten a pen.
Okie dokie. Just bear with you a moment whilst you write your answers down and submit to the, well, you'll submit them after the third one.
You're not meant to be giving them extra time, Gary. It was a countdown for a reason.
Okie dokie. Moving on. Your low numbers 8, 5, 1, 5, and your high numbers 10 and 100. And the target is 458. Alright, I'll just bear with a moment whilst you get caught up. And for the final numbers round, your low numbers 2, 10, 6, 7, and the high numbers 75 and 25. And your target will be 865.
What?
All right. I'll let you go ahead and submit your answers in. And whilst you're doing it, I'll run through how we scored them once I see that people have put their answers in, so you're not going to cheat here. I see 2 people have submitted so far. We have 3 submissions. Go on, get your countdown submissions in before I run through the answers. Who doesn't know how to play countdown? Bella, you don't know how to play countdown? Oh. I'm sorry. I should have explained it a bit more clearly. Okay, most of you got your answers now submitted. So, to score 275 from 50, 25, 4, 1, 5, and 2, if you take 4 minus 1, that will give you 3. And then 50 times 3 times 2 will give you 300. Take the 300 and minus 25 will give you 275. Next, to get 458 from 8, 5, 1, 5, 10, and 100. Take the 100 times the 5, which will give you 500. And then 10 times 5 will give you 50. 500 minus the 50 gives you 450. And add the 8 for 458. And finally, to score 865 from 2, 10, 6, and 7, 75 and 25, take the 75 plus the 7 plus the 2 for 84. 84 times 10 equals 840. 840 plus 25 equals 865. Okie dokie. Now for the conundrum, the final round of the countdown show. So there is also another submission form for Countdown Conundrum, which you'll see on the main quiz. So I'll give you a short moment to make sure you're all selected and on that page you're ready to submit the conundrum. If you are playing on pen and paper, get ready to type your answer into the chat as quickly as possible. And if you're playing via the form, type your conundrum answer into the form and submit it as quick as possible. I have both of them open up on my screens, and the first person to send in the correct answer will win the bonus 10 points for the conundrum. So I'll give another quick moment and then we'll go ahead and reveal the conundrum once you've all gotten ready. Is everyone clear on what to do? All right, and time to reveal this evening's conundrum. Right, and we have a winner. And the winner is Quizzing from Quarantine. You got in first with the conundrum answer, which was, of course, galleries. So that is an extra 10 bonus points for Quizzing from Quarantine. And finally, there was also a bonus question on the online form. If you wrote all of the numbers from 300 to 400 on a piece of paper, how many times would you have written the number, or did you, as some people scrutinise me for, number 3? And that answer is, of course, 120 times. Thank you all for letting me take over and tuning in for the Countdown pre-quiz quiz. Next week, we will be doing multiple choice questions based on the famous game show Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? So hopefully that will be a bit more simplified for everyone else to be easily play along. Thank you for your time, and I'm now going to hand over back to your quizmaster, Mr. Neil Widdowson.
Hello. Right, so back to the answers. We've got which Italian province speaks mostly German? South Tyrol. Whoops, ending up with everything going twice now. South Tyrol. Italy annexed it from the Austro-Hungarian Empire just after the First World War in the Treaty of Versailles, I believe. How long is a mile in kilometres to one decimal place? 1.6 kilometres. Hazelnut is in the middle of a Ferrero Rocher. In Harry Potter, the name of the Weasley's house is the Burrow. The heart has 4 valves, in the human body at least. The capital of Iceland is Reykjavik. Queen Elizabeth's surname is Windsor. Well done if you got Elizabeth Alexandra Mary Windsor. Brie is originally from France, but much better everywhere else. So Tom Hanks films in chronological order. We've got Forrest Gump from 1994, Catch Me If You Can from 2002, The Terminal 2004 even, and Bridge of Spies 2015. What year was Heinz established? 1869. The strongest muscle in the human body is usually the masseter, found in the jaw. Margaret Thatcher died in 2013. LGBTQ stands for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender and questioning, although some believe that it is also queer. Happy Pride Month. A human baby rabbit is called a kit. One landlocked country in Europe. Now, all 14 of them, Andorra, Austria, Belarus, Czech Republic, Hungary, Liechtenstein, Luxembourg, Macedonia, Moldova, San Marino, Serbia, Slovakia, Switzerland, and Vatican City. Well done if you got all of those. DIY, this is a hammer. If you didn't get that, maybe don't come back. I'm joking. This is a file. Oak is a hardwood. Usually, standard emulsion wall paint is water-based. The most expensive wood in the world is Bocote. There's loads of different pronunciations on the internet. I did look it up. No one seems to actually know for definite. So if anybody does know for definite, let me know. What colour is the live wire inside a plug? It is now generally red, but it used to be brown. The water that holds the water for a toilet to flush is called the cistern. Before drilling in the wall, it is a very good idea to check for pipes and cables. In Fawlty Towers, Basil hired a cheap builder to fit a new door in a supporting wall, but didn't use an RSJ, a rolled steel joint. Instead, he used a wooden lintel, which meant that the wall could have collapsed. A good way to fix a squeaking door is oil the hinges. The type of cable you would need to extend your aerial for your TV, it is not an aerial cable. It is a coaxial cable. Same for Virgin Media. Virgin Media actually use a DOCSIS 3 coaxial cable. According to painters, what should you paint first in a room? The ceiling, so it doesn't matter if it splashes on the walls or the floor. The abrasive on most modern sandpapers is aluminium oxide. The technical term for a crosshead screw is Phillips. The name of the most durable carpet is made from nylon, although some also believe wool to be as durable. The term for a group of cats is a clowder. Bill Sikes' dog in Oliver Twist was called Bullseye. A female donkey is called a jenny. A Finnish spritz is a dog. And the Samoyed is not a breed of goldfish. Aren't they cute? I want one. The German dog Dachshund translates to badger dog in English. And the horror film Ben starred a rat. Which group of British campaigners were affected by the Cat and Mouse Act? The suffragettes. And that was because they refused to eat, and the Cat and Mouse Act was basically allowing prisoners to go out of prison temporarily under sort of health reasons or something like that. How many teeth do adult dogs have? 42. A cat has on average 24 whiskers, and humans have 5 million sense receptors, but dogs have 220 million. The fastest horse on record was clocked at 44 miles per hour. The percentage of body weight that a hamster can store in its cheek pouches is 20%. That's quite a lot to be carrying around with you. The most popular pet in the UK is the dog. 40% of households, according to this survey, owned a pet dog, and 25% have owned a dog. 17% have a cat. So yes, I know that those percentages don't add up, but you can have a dog and a cat, and you could also have a hamster and a snake and a spider and whatever else you want. So they do work out. What is the name of the first ever Blue Peter pet? It was a dog called Petra. The spiciest chili in the world is the Carolina Reaper. The sauce traditionally served with the prawn cocktail is a Marie Rose. The pastry used to make baklava is phyllo pastry. A raisin is simply a dried grape. The alcohol that you traditionally use to flame a Christmas pudding is brandy, although some use rum. Baked beans are haricot beans. A biscuit is a shellfish soup, typically made with lobster, so not something I'd be tempted to try any day. A beef Wellington is steak topped with pâté and mushrooms and wrapped in a puff pastry. Just something similar to that. Just steak and mushrooms in a pastry would do, something like that. Flavour is an icing on a Whitby bun. It is lemon. Little Worms, vermicelli. McDonald's first store opened in 1940. Vanilla pod comes from an orchid. The fast food franchise that has the largest number of restaurants in the world is Subway, and they do not own a single store. They are all franchised. And interestingly, McDonald's only own, somewhere between 20 and 30%, I think. The rest of them are franchised as well, which is interesting. The strong scented plant that has its own festival on the Isle of Wight is, of course, the garlic. And a pumpernickel is a rye bread. Music, we have James Blunt with his song Monsters. Number 2, we have Lauv with Modern Loneliness. Number 3, we have Toto with Africa. Number 4 is Shawn Mendes with Falling All In You. Number 5 is 5 Seconds of Summer with Amnesia. Number 6 is The Clash, Should I Stay or Should I Go? Number 7 is the Jonas Brothers, What a Man Gotta Do. Number 8, James T.W., You and Me. Number 9, Lucas Graham, Say Yes, church ballad. Number 10, Billy Joel, Vienna. Number 11, Van Halen, Jump. Number 12 is, of course, Busted with Air Hostess. Number 13 is Mika in Any Other World. Number 14, Kelly Clarkson, Since You've Been Gone. And finally, we've got 20 of these ones, haven't we? 15 is Vamps with Paper Hearts. That song was actually written. The Vamps asked its fans to send in a paper heart with some lyrics on. Not lyrics from a song, but just any sort of messages, and the Vamps then turned that into a song called Paper Hearts. Quite a nice music video to go with that. 16 is One Direction, Night Changes. 17 is Callum Scott, You Are the Reason. Number 18, Ike and Tina Turner, Nutbush City Limits. Number 19 is Ed Sheeran with Supermarket Flowers, cheapskate. Number 20, Bruce Springsteen, Born in the USA. I did unmute my mic. Yes, I did. Good. Right, so let me get back on the right page and I will check whether there are any questions. Yeah, I would have thought. Yeah, Rosemary's close enough, I think. Yes, chicken tikka. Who wants to be who wants to be a millionaire? Is that what Gary's doing next week? Did I miss that? However, if yes, if he does, then great. I believe he did mention that at some point, so that is good. So well done, everybody. We have some scores coming up in a second. Boom. So if anybody's still submitting them, then hurry up. So it looks like Quizzing from Quarantine are winning thanks to their bonus points. I'm still counting, Neil. Hold on. Well, okay, but so far Quizzing from Quarantine is winning, followed by BLT, BTL even, and then Irish Wishwatch. I was just over there. You're just tongue twistering me now. Please change your name next time. Where is your round 1 and 2? Did you not send it in? I don't know where it's gone. The scorers are coming in. So yes, don't forget about the seals. Please don't forget. If you want to use the ping it link, I believe, where did I put the ping it? Ping it. Pingy. Ping it. Ping it link. If you want to use that, then do. If not, there is a Facebook thing where you directly donate through Facebook. The downside with that is you have to do a minimum of £4. But yes, don't forget about the seals, because normally they have loads of people going around the sanctuary, and that pays for looking after them and feeding them and cleaning all the water and everything. But obviously, with no one being allowed in, they're struggling to support them. So it would be great if we can donate as much as possible to them. If you want to just do it on their website, that is absolutely fine. As long as we save the seals, because seals are cute. I mean, they're basically just puppies, but they live in the sea. That is basically what a seal is. And if anybody goes down to Cornwall, I really recommend going to the seal sanctuary when we're all allowed to. Back to the scores. Looking kind of similar. How much did I score? Score for what? Gary says, if you played on pen and paper, please type your score in the chat and I will add it to the scorecard. Stu doesn't mark his answers because he doesn't like being told he's wrong. Gary, have you not been checking your words? However, everyone have a good week. I am going to go now. I am addicted to Anno, so I'll probably be playing that till midnight at least. Well done quizzing from quarantine. Don't forget about the seals. And yeah, BTL and Darth Invaders are joint second. Well done, everybody. I will see you next week, same time. I think I've only got 2 more weeks left then before I will be moving to Newcastle. I will still be doing the quiz. I'll just be somewhere else. So, and hopefully I'll have time to make the quiz. If not, I can pick one up somewhere. Thank you, Tracy, for donating to the seals. Every little helps. And honestly, it is a really great place to go. I've been about 3 times now. They're lovely things, especially when you can see them when they've just been pulled in from the shore, and you can sort of see their little hospital through the glass. They've got a little glass hospital, which is lovely to see. So yes, have a good week, and I will see you next Friday, which is the 12th, Friday the 12th of June. Have a good week. The 12th of June. Have a good week.